Alright folks, let's get the process started by going and downloading your slicer, your slicing program. For this training we will be using Cura, as it is a freely available program, open source, and works out just fine. So I can go up to the top and I can type in Cura Slicer. And you can see it does come from Ultimaker, and you can also say download if you want to in your search. And it says you can do it that way. You can also find it just by saying Ultimaker and find it that way. So we're going to go through and find the one that's basically the Ultimaker Cura, and it looks like right here an Ultimaker software will be fine. And we're going to go to this button to make sure we get to the right place, and we're going to scroll down to download for free, and we're going to choose which operating system we are utilizing. In my case it's Windows 64-bit, and it's highlighted, and I hit download now. So it starts the download. It is a fairly good size, a number of megabytes, so it might take a few seconds, but once it's installed, then I'm going to, once it's available for download, I am going to run it on my computer to actually activate it or install it as the administrator. So give it a few more moments. It's almost done. There we go. We see it right here. And I'm going to go down here, click on my little arrow and say show in folder, so it pops up on my screen. Of course I can save that anywhere. And there's my file. I will right click and say run as administrator, or just your typical installation process. It says welcome to Cura Setup Wizard. I say next. I agree. It's going to install it wherever it wants to. That's fine. And the start menu doesn't really matter to me that much. Next. And it's going to ask me if I want to set up these drivers. Now, just so you understand what this is assuming that I'm going to be running a printer from this machine from this software. So it wants to install drivers so that I can hook printers up to this computer and take off and go. The machine I'm using right now is not necessarily going to be hooked to a printer, so this isn't as important to me. I also don't like the fact that it wants to take control of STL files with Cura. I'm going to uncheck that. You can leave yours checked so that it associates the program. A lot of programs like to associate themselves with certain type of files. For example, Mesh Mixer wants to associate itself with STL files. Other slicers want to associate it. And so that's what ends up making those files, those icons, change to look like a certain program. I'm going to uncheck it there because I like my associations as it has them. I'll leave these set up, and I'll hit install. And it may take a few moments to actually install. I could have sped this process up by telling it not to install the Arduino drivers because I'm not going to be hooking a printer to this machine up, but we'll just pause the video until it gets done. One of the things that may happen on yours during the install is it may want to pop up some of these Arduino drivers. You can say install them. They don't take up any realistic space. They're just little driver programs in case you actually hook a printer that has an Arduino board hooked to your computer. And also there may be several of these. I always just tell it to trust things from Arduino, and that might speed up the actual install time. Again, I probably should have unchecked that because I'm not going to hook this printer to, or hook this computer to printers. Alright, so we've got it installed. We can check this or uncheck this to actually run the program, and we'll check that out on another video. Good job. We'll see you.